Hey guys, my name's Etienne Wilson, and I'm going to be explaining how you can stay lean year-round. And so this is important for a few reasons. The first is that it's pretty awesome to be able to enjoy your physique and have an awesome looking physique the whole time, even when you're bulking. The second thing is that you can make sure your health is optimized and everything is like flowing in that sense. And the third thing is that as you're building your aesthetic physique, you can keep your waist pretty small, and that will make everything else look better and more striking. All right, so let's get into it. So the story that made me realize this is I had always had a pretty small waist, just genetically. And then when I was building muscle, I did a good lean bulk. And so I built muscle in my shoulders and chest and everything like that. But then my waist was still pretty small. I think it was like 27 inches at that point when I'd been lifting for about a year or so. But I just realized, and this was a few months ago, I realized that I had bulked past 15% body fat, and my waist went from 27 or I think 29 at some point to 31.5, and my whole physique just looked disproportionate and way less impressive, even though I was technically more muscular. So this is why I realized it's really important. You want to keep your body fat percentage under 15% body fat, and then you want to cut to 10%, then lean bulk back to 15%, and then kind of repeat that cycle. That's the best way to do it, is what I found. So there's kind of a 4-step process, and there's also a little bit of a step 0. So the first thing is to establish your maintenance calories, and you can do this for about a week or two if you don't already have a good idea of what it would be. Just track everything you eat, and then you have an exact number of how many calories you need at maintenance, so then you can use the estimates for bulking or cutting afterwards, which is helpful. So in the 4-step plan, this is what you repeat. The first thing is a 4 to 6 month bulk. And ideally you start this when you're lean. If you're starting out lifting, if you haven't lifted before, it's usually better to bulk, but if you're like really high body fat, it might be better to cut for you. So you do that for about 4 to 6 months. And it's really important that we do a lean bulk and not a dirty bulk, because the amount of weight you gain in fat goes up disproportionately to muscle after a certain point. So after you're gaining half a pound to a pound of body weight per week, the more gain or the more weight gain is just from fat usually, unless with a caveat of if you're in your newbie gains, you can usually push it a bit more. But if you've been lifting for like 2 years properly, you're probably past that point. So after you do that cut, or that bulk, you'll be around 15% body fat. Then what you want to do is enter a maintenance phase for about 1 to 2 weeks. And the idea for that is to stabilize your body at a certain weight, because your body sometimes will have a set point, and then if you just get to a certain weight and then you just instantly cut, you'll kind of just like lose muscle too. After you have that maintenance phase, so your hormones are optimized and leveled, and you've decreased some of that training fatigue, your body's kind of at like a new set point is the way to describe it, then you can start a cut. And then the cut is to get down to 10%, which I talked about. That'll be about 2 to 3 months. And then for that, you want to do a 300 to 500 calorie deficit. And also for the bulk, I forgot to mention that. You want to be doing about a 200 to 300 surplus with like healthy foods, obviously. So for the cut, like I said, you want to be doing that for about 2 to 3 months. And then once you get to 10% body fat, you will do what's called a reverse diet. So a big issue with cutting is if you instantly increase your calories from the cutting levels to a higher level, you'll just regain the fat you just lost. So it's kind of similar. You want to slowly bring it back up, and you want to give your body some time to kind of reset or level at that body fat percentage, basically. So it's slightly different from bulking because you can instantly cut the calories from your bulking calories to your cutting calories. You don't have to worry about slowly adding it. But for cutting, you do, just because it's different the way your body sees energy when it's in a deficit. It will just try to pull in as much as possible because it thinks you're starving. So anyways, what you want to do is add 100 to 150 calories per day for a week, and then add it until you're back at your bulking calories. If that doesn't make sense, let's say your cutting calories were like 2200, then for the first week after you're done with your cut, you would make it 2300. And then the week after, you could make it 2400, 2500, etc. for 3 or 4 weeks. Once you're back at maintenance, you'll probably be fine. And then you might gain 1, 2, 3 pounds during that time, but it's all right. Then you start bulking. And that's the structure to do it. So A quick story that I think will help you visualize this is it's an oscillation, like a cycle. So you want to be bulking, maintaining, cutting, reverse dieting, bulking, and you keep doing that. So I used to have these things called free skates, which I don't know if you've heard of them. Like you can imagine a skateboard if you like, cut it in half and turned it this way. So the motion for it is like these are my feet, and you do this. So basically, it looks like you're moonwalking, or in Minecraft sometimes. I don't know if you ever played Minecraft, but it'd be that character, your character just kind of walking sideways. So you can imagine that. It's pretty funny. The idea is that you want to have a cycle like that. So where my feet are doing this cycle, you want to have the same cycle for bulking, if that's helpful to remember it. So some key points and notes that will be really helpful are keeping your protein at a gram per pound of body weight or 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. I would recommend just 1 gram per pound of body weight. It's so much more simple than trying to switch things when you're bulking and cutting. It pretty much works for anything you're doing. If you're maintaining, if you're cutting, if you're bulking, that's always going to work. So it's pretty good. It's really important for when you're cutting though, because your body will need more stimulus to maintain that muscle rather than when you're bulking. So after that is having a standard meal plan and macros. So once you have your maintenance calories, then I'm gonna cut. Then just make a meal plan that you can consistently eat, and you can see yourself eating that pretty much every single day with maybe some variation, but honestly, I just eat the same 4 meals every single day and it makes it a lot easier, because I think a lot of the issue with tracking for people is they're constantly tracking so many random foods, and it's annoying because you can't put it in. But if you're eating the same 4 meals every single day, or 3 or whatever, it's so easy to just click on your whatever you're using, MacroFactor, MyFitnessPal, and just click all of them, and then they just go in, and it's easy, right? It takes a lot less brain power. It's a lot easier to actually do it. The second thing, or the third thing after that, is I would recommend getting one of those, they're called bioelectrical impedance scales, but it's like those scales that will measure your body fat too. The Withings one's pretty good, that's what I have. It'll tell you your body fat, and it's pretty helpful. It's not completely accurate, but it's the easiest and best way to actually track it. Nobody's getting a daily DEXA scan, so it's better. And then also is getting a tape measure, like, one of those ones that are not like, it's not like straight, you can like bend it, for your waist measurement, because taking a waist measurement is really helpful. When you're cutting or when you're bulking, you can see a actual trackable figure if you're getting too much weight fast, and most of that's fat, or if you're doing it well, basically, if that makes sense. So like if you're bulking, you can tell if you're in a good lean bulk by how much or how little your waist increases on a day-to-day, probably week-to-week basis is better. So all this is not super complicated. It doesn't really take a lot of energy. You pretty much just set it up once, and then as long as your meal plans are pretty similar, or eating similar meals every day, you can just set it up, do it, and then go on forever like that. And it might be a good idea to hire a coach if you can. They can figure out the plan for you in terms of months, and then you can just follow it. All right, and if you guys do want any help personally, if you're curious of how we can help you, there's a link in the description. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you how great we are or anything. Obviously, the point of these videos is to help you, so. But it is there in case you're curious. And that's everything for the video. I'm so glad you watched to the end. And if you wanna like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be awesome. If you like, it'll show you more videos like this. So hopefully I'll help you out. Love you guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Peace.